live from the MLB Players Trust Gala in Phoenix, Arizona at Warehouse 215. This is Roy Kessel for Sports Philanthropy Network. And we're very excited today to have with us a special guest, Justin Halladay from Project Beisbol. So, Justin, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
We're excited to learn more about the program and the work that you're doing. So, before we start diving into that, take us a little bit through your background and why you got involved with it.
Well, I had a passion for travel all my life and studying abroad. So luckily I had the chance to study in Cuba in 1998. And that opened my eyes to the realities of baseball and passion for the sport in this region. And of course, the lack of resources to keep that sport going.
So it's something that you identified, but there's a lot of people that see things out there in the world and understand that. But what brought that passion out of you? There are a lot of ways you could have helped.
So I have obviously love the sport of baseball. Played it all through my life. And frankly, my passion for international collaboration, the peace in this hemisphere, which is so necessary, which we see now, combined with baseball, made it something that I knew I wanted to dedicate my life to.
So one of the things that is always interesting when we look at these different organizations is trying to get a handle on, like, how can we change lives? How can we use this sport as a mechanism to make a difference in that community? So what did you identify as the best way to do that?
Well, the best way to do that in Latin America is make sure you can actually get on the field. So that's step one. Step two is making sure that the process is healthy, that it's not a elite talent-driven process, which has controlled the industry in Latin America now for years. So we go against that. We go towards making it an education and equitable situation so all kids can get on the field, not just the most elite talent. So that's the first and second step. Third step is finding a way for these kids to get to the next level, whether it's through finding a university scholarship or getting involved in the sport. If they sign a contract, awesome. And we want them to do that. But that's only one channel that comes through baseball.
You talked about some of the most important things here. You talked about the getting on the field, right? It's something that's a big challenge, not only the availability of fields, but as you talked about, that sort of, system where you need to be able to pay and the whole money side of things.
Sure. So, equipment is extremely important. So that's why we work to get kids on the field through equipment donations, through community organization. And we're extremely grateful to the Players Trust for all their support, for our partners at Pitch In for Baseball, and many donors from all over the world that have, mainly the United States, that have supported our cause. So it's equipment, field space, coaching support, and we do a little bit of all that to make sure grassroots baseball can exist in the most vulnerable communities.
So you talked about equipment donations. Talk about some of the challenges of getting that equipment on site. We've heard horror stories of shipments coming and being essentially hijacked and then trying to be resold back to the kids and in the organization.
Yeah, so we have a very strict vetting process with our community partners to start with. So we know who we're working with. We know that they've been approved by our organization and other organizations we affiliate with to make sure they're going to do the good thing with it. In terms of getting it in the country, that's another story we're not going to get into on this conversation, but we find a way one way or another legally.
Beyond the equipment thing, what are some of the challenges on being able to cultivate an environment where, the kids are able to come out and feel that this is a safe environment for them to play and thrive?
Well, baseball, in terms of the safety of baseball, obviously we make sure they're protected. So I'm not quite clear on that question. Sorry, could you rephrase the question?
Well, with some of the challenges in terms of getting the kids to be part of the organization, right, and buy into the program that you have.
So the kids where we work, these are some of the most vulnerable communities in all the hemisphere. The kids that want to be there are kids that have a passion for the sport, that heard from a friend or have played for years, like the Venezuelan refugees in Colombia who we serve. And these folks we don't need to convince to play the sport. They're there because they love it. They're there because it's in their blood or it's something that they believe they love. And so we're just there to serve them and make sure they can play in a healthy and productive way.
So when you take a look now, you've been doing this for a while. You've been successful at building up some scale and some support. What do you see on the horizon over the next 2 to 3 years?
Yeah. So our mission, we've created a mission that has proven to be impactful. So we're going to keep doing what we do. And that is combining the support on the baseball and athletic side combined with our education programs like All-Star English and our digital exchange, which enable kids to take that pathway towards the next step and have options outside of only signing and going professional, which I believe has been the pathway for many years. And it's one of many and a wonderful path, but we need to prepare these guys for the next level.
And what's the best way for you to do that?
Through the education programs, English, cultural exchange programs, which help them adapt to what they will encounter if they come to the States, whether it's on a scholarship or signing. And then it also prepares them in other facets of life. So if they don't sign and go professionally, they'll be in a position to have a job where that English helps them in that capacity and also work in the industry beyond the field.
Well, congratulations on putting together such a great program. I know you filled out one of the cards here, so let's put that up on the wall. So tell us what you selected and why.
So I'm creating impact for kids in Latin America. So and this cause is important to me because everyone deserves a chance to explore their potential.
So last question, when you look at the process, what made you identify that market as where you wanted to do the work?
We identified the market based on 4 factors: the current level of international support, the current level of passion in the country, and operational feasibility within that country. And then a 4th factor would be basically the potential for impact, like how much impact can we truly make with what we have. And Nicaragua was the first country we started in based on that, Colombia 2, and then Brazil is number 3. And we believe that these, Colombia and Brazil are the future of baseball. And we have one chance, speaking to the folks out there, to create a healthy pathway for baseball. If we wait too long, we will see this industry go towards the profit path, and it will be lost forever. The sport will actually start to diminish. If we create healthy environments for baseball to thrive, which are based on education and equality, we will see baseball grow. There will be more MLB players and more money can be made by those that are interested in that. But at the same time, there'll be a healthier baseball environment and baseball will grow internationally. And we have one shot. If we lose it in Colombia, it's not good. If we let Brazil go the wrong way, not good. So I'm working on it. We're fighting on the ground every day to save the sport in Latin America.
Justin, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate you taking time away from the party and all of the fun here tonight to share your
pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And for all of our viewers and listeners, we appreciate you taking time to join us. Roy Kessel signing off for Sports Philanthropy Network, live from the MLB Players Trust Gala in Phoenix, Arizona, reminding you to live generously.